Kevin Webster's life is heading toward catastrophe on Coronation Street, with Tyrone Dobbs set to witness a moment that could change everything. Carl Webster's betrayal began with his sleazy affair with his half-brother Kevin's wife, Abby. Yet even that wasn't enough for him. Before long, he was sneaking around for brief flings with James Bailey whenever Abby wasn't looking. As if that weren't vile enough, Carl went on to fleece his own sister Debbie, manipulating her into believing her dementia was worsening so he could drain her business accounts. His most unforgivable act, however, was the hit and run that left Tyrone permanently using a wheelchair. Kevin even had video evidence, footage captured by Jack Webster's drone, clearly proving Carl's guilt. But fate intervened, and Kev failed to retrieve the recording in time to expose his brother during the wedding. Though he avoided punishment, Carl became a pariah on the street. Still, that didn't stop him from planning a drunken escape to Germany. Incredibly, Debbie climbed into the car alongside him, determined to keep him in check. Then disaster struck. The Corriedale chaos unfolded in a massive explosive collision. Terrified of facing jail for dangerous driving, Carl staged a sick deception. He dragged an unconscious Debbie into the driver's seat and later exploited her memory problems, convincing her she had been behind the wheel all along. The nickname Worst Webster has never felt more accurate. You'd assume Debbie would eventually see through him and cut ties, but think again. Shockingly, she continues to shield Carl regardless of his crimes, and it's pushing Kevin closer to snapping point. Earlier this week, Debbie discovered that Carl had been treating her hotel finances like an open wallet, yet she still chose to hide his theft. Unbeknownst to her, Ryan Connor had already alerted Kevin, revealing that the hotel's accounts were riddled with suspicious gaps. When Kevin confronted Debbie with the evidence, she flatly refused to accept it. Even after cornering Carl privately and demanding honesty, he once again dodged responsibility with ease. Why Debbie remains loyal to him is a mystery. While her guilt over failing to pass on a message from their abusive, dying mother explains some of it, covering for a dangerous driving offense feels extreme. Kevin certainly thinks so. Debbie lashed out, accusing Kevin of stirring trouble out of spite after Carl wrecked his marriage. "This isn't about revenge," Kevin fired back. "It's about making you see the truth. He's a liar, a thief, and worse. That man's a sociopath." But Debbie shut him down, issuing a chilling ultimatum. "Try to turn me against him all you want, but don't make me choose between you and Carl, because you won't like how that ends." It's obvious Debbie's blind loyalty isn't fading anytime soon. In next week's episodes, Kevin is left reeling by her words. Back at home, he gazes sadly at an old photograph of happier days with his sister. Overcome with fury, Kevin tears the living room apart, just as Tyrone arrives, alarmed to find his friend spiraling. Later at Streetcars, Carl emerges from the bathroom only to come face to face with Tyrone, who is waiting with his crutch raised threateningly. Consumed by rage, Tyrone slams Carl against the wall and demands the truth, a moment sure to be met with cheers from Corrie fans nationwide. Will Tyrone finally force a confession out of the sinister Carl? Jodie manipulates Lily to target Shona in Coronation Street. No sooner have viewers recovered from the chaos caused by bunny-boiling bad cop Becky Swain than another dangerous woman storms onto the cobbles with vengeance on her mind. Step forward Jodie Ramsey, a striking and deeply unsettling new arrival whose introduction to Weatherfield was anything but ordinary. Jodie burst into Soapland amid the explosive fallout of Corriedale, making a dramatic escape from the back of a van after being held captive by notorious Emmerdale villain Graham Foster. Her frantic dash for freedom instantly set alarm bells ringing, marking her out as a woman with a dark and troubled past. Sharp-eyed fans quickly notice something significant. Jodie bears the same distinctive tattoo as Shona Platt, immediately hinting at a hidden connection between the two women. After quietly tailing Shona and David at the hospital while they visited their newborn daughter Harper, Jodie finally stepped out of the shadows. The revelation was explosive. She is Shona's long-lost sister. While David was eager to welcome Jodie into their home, hoping to rebuild family ties, Shona was far more hesitant. Having just endured a traumatic birth and ongoing worries about baby Harper's health, the last thing she wanted was unexpected family turmoil. Still, Jodie clung to the idea that fate had reunited them. "I keep thinking there's a reason I found you again," she said softly, like the universe bringing us back together or sumat. Unfortunately, the universe appears to have a cruel sense of irony. Upcoming episodes reveal that beneath Jodie's hopeful exterior lies deep resentment. She believes Shona abandoned her to suffer alone under the cruelty of their toxic parents and left her defenseless when she needed help the most. Now, fueled by years of bitterness, Jodie is determined to make her sister pay. Her chosen method of revenge is disturbingly calculated. Shona's stepdaughter, Lily Platt. On Monday, 22nd of January, Jodie eagerly offers to help Lily with a school self-portrait. What seems like a kind gesture quickly turns sinister as Jodie uses the bonding moment to subtly poison Lily's mind, planting seeds of doubt about Shona's character and rewriting the past in her favor. By Wednesday, 23rd of January, Jodie attempts to further undermine Shona's reputation with Lily, but her plans are suddenly derailed when Kit Green enters the cafe. Visibly shaken, Jodie panics and bolts from the scene. What is she running from, and why does Kit's presence terrify her so much? The following day, a suspicious Shona confronts Kit, desperate for answers. What she learns leaves her reeling. Kit reveals that on the night of the devastating crash, Jodie was spotted in the woods. Her wrists were bound, she appeared to be fleeing from someone, and she was clearly terrified for her life. Shona is left stunned, unsure what to believe. Meanwhile, Jodie attends a domestic abuse support group at the community center. She listens intently as a woman named Ellie recounts the horrific violence she endured at the hands of her partner. The raw emotion clearly affects Jodie, but is it empathy or something more calculated? Soon after, Shona and David receive a frantic call from Bethany, warning them that Jodie is back at the house and suffering a full-blown meltdown. When they rush home, Shona is forced to listen as her sister emotionally unravels, unleashing years of pain, anger, and heartbreak. But the question remains, is Jodie's breakdown genuine or simply another move in a carefully planned campaign to destroy her sister? Coronation Street executive producer Kate Brooks sheds light on Jodie's complicated history with Shona and the explosive secrets buried in their shared past. Jodie is an incredibly complex character, and she carries a lot of emotional baggage, Kate explains. Her relationship with Shona is strained and volatile, shaped by years of unresolved resentment and hurt. There is still love there, she continues. They share a powerful sisterly bond, and even though they've been estranged for a long time, that connection hasn't disappeared, but it's tangled up with anger and deep emotional wounds. Kate adds, Jodie is fascinating. She's a troublemaker, she's mischievous, and she has that glint in her eye that tells you all is not quite as it seems. There are layers to her personality, and the audience will enjoy peeling them back. Viewers should keep a close eye on Jodie, she warns. She's hiding a lot of secrets, and when they come out, they're going to explode. Jodie is set to bring huge drama and plenty of chaos into the Platt household. Coronation Street airs on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and streams on ITVX.